What's up, buttercups? So this is the next video in the Art Adventures program brought to you by the Dubuque Museum of Art. My name is Caitlin Donald. I am one of the education fellows, and today's topic is glue. And just for the record, this is my glue drawer, and this is only a fraction. So there's a lot to know about glue. And we're not going to go over all of that because it is a lot. We're basically going to do 2 hot glue crafts and kind of talk about the history of glue in like 2 seconds. But this is a lot of glue, right? All right. So, the first glues that were ever used were used by cavemen about 70,000 years ago. And all it was just tree sap. That's it. Just tree sap. Around 200,000 years ago, we get the Egyptians who made glues and adhesives, stuff that sticks together, out of bones and horns and animal hides and other things that they had from livestock. In 1932, we finally get this guy, good old classic Elmer's. This is made kind of from plants and other synthetic-y stuff. But fun fact, do you know that the cow's name is named Elsie? And she's a throwback for when we made glue out of animal stuff, which is kind of neat. I never knew that until I had to do research for this video. I thought that was cool. I also like that she's got a neat little smile going on. Like she knows something we don't know. But, so, 1932, we get Elmer's. And then in the 1940s, we finally get hot glue. I think I can make a G. I don't think I can make a G. Maybe I can make a G. So 1940s, we finally get hot glue. And then in 1954, thanks to a lot of shoemakers burning themselves making shoes, a guy named George Schultz invented this. So people stopped burning themselves. And that's how we got hot glue and the hot glue gun. There is some controversy over the history of hot glue and the hot glue gun, but the majority of people think that it's a dude named George Schultz who invented this. So now we can start making things. So the first hot glue craft is going to be stencil making. Because it's really cool. You can make like a plasticky kind of durable stencil just by drawing. And the second one I want to make is mold making. Because if you've ever done mold making, it's pretty expensive. And so using hot glue is super, super, super cheap compared to some of the other mold making things you can do. So we'll learn how to do that. If you are under 10, get your parents so you don't start fires, because this is very hot and very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. And those are the rules of the video. Just don't burn yourself. There's a reason why it's called hot glue. Anyway, I really like mold making. And we already kind of talked about in some of the previous videos, making multiples of a thing and why we might want to do that, right? Like with the stamp video, we kind of talked about why artists make multiples of things. So this is kind of like a stamp, but a 3-dimensional stamp, right? Like it's a sculpture. And you can make your own. I'm not, because I don't have any Sculpey or any clay with me. But I do have a fake shark's tooth. So I thought it would be cool to make multiple fake shark teeth. But I would highly suggest making your own little sculpture and experimenting with that and seeing how many of those you can make. Okay, so what you can also do is you can make stencils, which is kind of fun. I have a piece of aluminum foil, and then here I have vegetable oil. I think it's veggie oil. Let's check. It's canola oil. Canola oil. It doesn't matter. Oil is basically what you want so that it doesn't stick. You're going to coat the surface. I'm just going to coat it. Get it all over your hands. And all messy and gross. Don't touch the hot glue gun. That's an important part. I'm going to wash my hands now. Okay, hands are washed. Oil is on our tin foil. Our glue gun is heated up. Not touching anything super flammable. And so now what you can do is you can actually start just drawing. Hold on 2 seconds. There we go. I had to push down the little glue stick. And again, if you're under 10, you should ask an adult to help you. Don't burn yourself, because this stuff can hurt pretty bad. Look at this masterpiece of a star, you guys. I love it. I love it. Alright. Then you're gonna draw, you're gonna draw, you're gonna draw. And you can either like fill it in, or you can just do an outline. My hand's kind of in the way, I'm sorry about that, guys. So, you can just do that. This is the beautifulest star. I love this star. We should name the star. Name it Herbert. Herbert the star. Alright, so you have your stencil. I want it to kind of look like it's actually drawn, so I'm going to fill it in even more. Plus I still have glue stick left. I'm going to do that. Alright, I think this is it for my star. Herbert the star. So then we're going to put that down. We're going to unplug it because we don't need it anymore. And again, it gets very hot and fire hazards are a thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to wait for this guy to cool, and then hopefully it will peel off if you put enough oil on. Okay, so it's pretty much dry. I'm just going to peel it off. Oh, there's oil all over my hands. I'm not a fan. Alright, now we have Herbert the star. Look at that. And we can either paint this and make this a cool object, or what we can do is we can get some cardboard, put it down on your piece of paper, and what I would do is I would stamp around it or paint around it. I wonder if the oil will... kind of did. But you can make snowflakes, you can make other things. I'm trying to think of other things other than snowflakes, but this reminds me a lot of a snowflake right now. Oh, he's kind of like a wonky star. Little Herbert. Alright, so that is our stencil that we can make. Do close up. And you can draw anything. You don't have to draw a star or a snowflake. You can draw a portrait, which would be really cool. You can draw maybe what we call planar, so you can go outside and maybe do like a cool landscape in hot glue. Well, you can take a picture of a landscape and then come inside and plug in your glue gun and do a landscape. So the options are limitless. So now that we made our cool stencil, it's down there on the floor, just chilling, we can make a cool mold of something. And again, you want to be very careful. We're going to use the stove. So again, adult supervision if you're under 10. You're going to need a metal pan, and then kind of a ceramic dish and something to make your mold out of, and then a bunch of glue. Okay, so to make a mold using hot glue, it's pretty easy. I did some experimenting over the weekend, and it seemed to work pretty well. So you're going to get some sort of ceramic that you don't care about. None of this is stuff you care about, right? And you can put scrap in there, and glue sticks. And then after you have all your hot glue, scrap, and glue sticks kind of in here, you're going to put it in a metal pan, and that just helps keep it from overflowing or, if anything, getting on the stove. And then I just have it kind of low. You don't want to do too hot, otherwise it'll burn and get kind of really yellow and gross. And you want quite a bit because it's going to shrink. It's gonna shrink up when it finally starts to cool down. All right, so our hot glue is melted. It's melted. It's a pile of glue. You can hear my oven kind of going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because it doesn't need to be up that high anymore now that it's all melted. Don't touch the pan, right? We don't want to touch that guy because it's going to be hot. The whole thing is hot. So we have our glue. Now we're going to come over here. I have this nifty shark's tooth. If I had Sculpey, I don't know if you can kind of see it, there's a shadow. If you have Sculpey or anything else, you can make your own sculpture, which would be super cool. But we're gonna take our canola oil over there, our nice canola oil. I hate touching it, it's so gross. Or vegetable oil or whatever oil we have. And take our finger and we're gonna just coat our object in oil. I'm gonna coat it, make it nice and disgusting. And what this does is this is what we call a release. So the oil makes it so the hot glue won't actually stick to what our object is. And that's why we also coated our aluminum foil with it too. I'm gonna wash my hands now. Alright, my hands are washed, which I now realize was not, I have to pick this up anyway, so I'm going to have to wash them again. But, so we're going to take our object that we either made or we want to make a lot of. We're going to come over here. And again, don't burn yourselves. So don't touch the glue. Drop it in, and then make sure that you just push down on it. But don't touch the glue. So this is our mold. Now, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get it centered. Alright, so that's our mold. That's my shark tooth mold. So now, we just turned it off, and we wait. Okay, so every failure is a learning experience, right? So things I did wrong is if you look, I accidentally pushed the whole thing in. So just the top part is showing up. And that's not what we want. We don't want that. We want it to just lay flat. Also, I don't think I used enough oil. So it's not coming out. So this is my artwork. This is what I have to work with. So again, it's a lot of experimentation, right? Which is kind of the fun part about doing art. So, thanks for watching. And I will see you guys later. Have fun experimenting. I will try to figure out a better system. This works, but I think when I was pushing down, I put too much pressure. And I pushed this in, and now it's pretty much encased in a solid block of glue. I'm sure I could remelt it and take it out. But it's kind of cool like this. I don't know, maybe I'll make some sort of artwork out of this, right? Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys Thursday when our next upload is. All right, bye. Peace out.